All right, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Commission Project, where we are talking about politics, getting educated on politics, and more specifically, the federal government. Before we continue, we have to my far left.
It's Wendy. What's good, guys?
There you go. And guys, of course, we have none other than Andrew Guy. He's been with us for quite a while now. Welcome again, Andrew Guy. All right.
Thanks for having me again. Looking forward to it.
You're most welcome. So if you've been following, we touched on the federal government on the last episode, and we're talking about the more serious stuff in the federal government, petrol, what the world is doing to respond to it, how the government functions in Australia to support these different ideas in solving it and resolutions, etc., etc. But now,
the thing is, who ever thought that petrol would be a big deal?
yeah, we took it for granted.
Yeah.
That is so true. We were driving around in circles and carrying on and leaving the car idling while the AC is running.
Yeah.
Now,
Now
folks,
the number of searches for EV vehicles has increased.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And the sales of what is it? E-bike or e-scooter?
E-scooters.
Has gone up
Yeah.
as well.
public transport has been getting used more often.
Yep.
You see, so, all right.
And it's currently free, guys.
Oh yes, for a month.
For a month, yeah, and that was
state
something.
government.
Yeah, we spoke about on one of the other episodes. Why is the Victorian government? Why is their prices so expensive when you go to other states and you see that they're so cheap?
Yeah.
So now we've got it for free. Let's hope that it carries on, or at least halve the price for it.
And I seen you on social media in the train. There was a couple dancing or something. It was on.
Yes.
What was happening there?
All the things that happen in Melbourne. No wonder why this city is the best city in the world.
Yeah.
And that's not a joke, by the way. It's really on top of
And it's a
all at the
fact.
moment, which
I
is
agree.
exciting. It was the launch of Cultural Diversity Week, which
Ah.
ran from March 22nd to 29th.
Okay.
So I was at the launch. Big people there, people bigger than I am, but I was just attending to celebrate and all that. And part of that was we had these people dancing on the tram.
Wow.
So actually, the tram was branded with cultural diversity colors.
Okay.
So the tram was part of the celebration.
Is it?
And it was
Okay.
parked just behind the park where we did the going thing, and then afterward, people in and out, and part of that was the dance.
The dance, that's so cool,
Nice. So is that Harmony Week? Is that what it was for, or?
Harmony Week.
I think it's the same crossed over.
Yeah, there's a bit of a crossover,
Okay.
or one after the other. But the Diversity Week is a big deal in Victoria every year.
That is good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. Federal government. Why must young people care? You know what I mean? Like, that's the prime minister, it's all of the hoity-toity of society. I'm a young person now, devil's advocate.
Yeah.
It's all of the hoity-toity of society.
Playing it very well.
100%. These private school people, that hold these very prominent roles and positions. As a young person, why must I care?
Yeah. I'll just pull you up on one point there, Johnny. About these private school people. Our current prime minister actually grew up in a public housing,
No.
raised by a single mom.
What?
So and it just got and his speech when he won for the first time was very was very touching.
So you're saying he worked hard to be in the role that he's in?
Yeah.
He never just get it as a handball.
No, and he's been in parliament for more than 20 years.
Yeah.
Before he became.
So he's a career politician.
Oh, you could call him like that. But very humble beginning, which sort of, I think in Australia, it sort of leveled the playing field a bit that, you never know how far you can go.
Yeah.
You just dream and get the right people around you and work hard, and you never know where you're going to end up.
I dream big, I shake things up, and I always wear dope suits.
Yeah. Gee, look at that, in the prime minister's seat.
But I think your question is, it's not only is it cool to be the prime minister of a country, it's really cool when you think about it, but it's really that these people make decisions that will have impact in the country that you will be an adult in a few years.
Yeah, and major decisions, right?
Major decisions. And not just when you become an adult, but right now, those decisions could be impacting on you. And we know that the federal government is in charge of education. So part of the education system, the federal government play a big role in the education system. So they could be making decisions that could impact on you right now. They also make decisions about when you go to university. They make decisions about fee help or what it's called HEC help. If you're wondering what the heck is HEC, it actually stands for Higher Education Contribution Scheme. That's HEC.
Okay, cool.
I think HELP is the Higher Education Loan Program. But I double check that. But but that's really very important for young people, that when you go to university in Australia, the government give you a loan to actually finish your degree.
Okay.
I think it's up to 80,000 the limit.
It's a lot of
that allowed you to finish your university degree. That's a lot of countries don't have that system.
In some first world countries, I'm not going to name names. In some first world countries that do not have that. I can tell you that much.
So we are.
And that's from what I understand. When you're on HEX as well, you only have to really start paying it back once you get a full-time job and you're earning a certain amount of
bracket.
money. When you're in a certain bracket. So I think that's fantastic for a country to offer something like that.
Quick question: as an adult, can I get HEX?
If you haven't claimed one before, if you haven't reached your limit, I think it's available to you anytime you go to university. Are you thinking of going back?
Ooh, I don't know about education. I've lost all this hair already. I don't have any more hair to lose.
But it's available there for us, which is, I think you hear people saying that we're blessed to be in this country. It's something
we definitely are.
Really need to be overstated.
That's powerful,
Countries. I don't think I would have finished my university if I was not in this country.
Okay, fair,
So I feel privileged and blessed to be in Australia.
That's true.
So they have. Sorry, so they have that for university, which is fantastic for people who want to study. Also, I think we're really blessed here in Australia with our Medicare scheme that we have, because there's not a lot of countries that have a scheme that will cover you for basically anyone who's a permanent resident or a citizen of Australia is covered in the public health system. Of course, you've got like private health, or you might wait a little longer in the
even
public.
as a tourist though, Wendy, like obviously you got your insurance, whatever the case is, but the hospitals you're going to go to are good enough hospitals, right? Unlike some other countries, first world countries, I'm not going to say which ones, but I'm just saying.
They won't even see you at all unless you
good luck.
show you
I'm sure they will see Johnny. You're on fire.
When I'm traveling, honestly, it was me. I'll be like, nah, it wasn't me.
Again, I think the Medicare system is one of the largest items in the federal budget. And that is, I think, the NDIS, Medicare, and some of the big ticket items. And I think it's really important that people break it down to how do I contribute to this? Because the federal government get money from us.
Yes.
Okay. So
it's our taxes.
And one of the role of the federal government is they collect taxes.
Okay.
Your income tax. So when you do your tax return at the end of the financial year, and the first time I looked at it, I actually felt very happy that I was making some contribution. I saw the breakdown that this percentage went to health, this percentage went to defense, this percentage went to education. And I was like, okay.
Contributing.
It's going somewhere.
Yeah.
So we contribute to this, and I think sometimes you need a good government to make the right financial decision. So that we can continue to have systems such as the Medicare. That we can continue to have systems such as the NDIS to look after, our fellow citizens that have disabilities that may limit the, livelihood and things like that. So it's very, really good system, and
So that's why young people should care, because it affects us. And then like the they take it off your wages. It's not even your choice, right?
Yeah,
It's automatic. So guys, your money's already going there.
Yeah.
So you might as well just care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might as well put some thought behind it to be like, okay, cool. You're taking my money.
Yeah.
I might as well make an informed decision, an informed choice with regards to who's the people that's taking my money. You know what I'm saying? What are they doing with this money? So I like that. I like the transparency of it. There's some countries where that does happen, but there's no transparency.
Yeah.
You can't even trail and follow. You're like, okay, cool. These guys are taking my money, but there's no hospitals.
Yeah.
The roads are bad.
Yeah.
Everything is just upside down. It's like, where's it going to?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Okay.
And I think the other important thing with the fact that we pay taxes is that because of that, we can hold people that make decisions about our funds accountable.
Yeah.
We hold them accountable at the next election. You know, whenever people will be asking questions. Okay, so what did we do about this?
Yep.
You know, so government can spend money on anything. Okay,
Wow.
so anything they feel, anything they choose to spend money on, the government of the day can do that.
Okay.
However, when it comes to the elections, that's where the accountability comes in. Because
Okay.
they may build, an airport, in the desert.
Yeah.
If that airport is not benefiting,
Yeah.
anyone, then that's become the accountability.
Yep.
So it's very important that you hear people going off and read on talkback shows. It's our taxpayers' money and all that like that.
Yeah.
But we actually entrust our taxpayers' money into the government's hand to make the right decisions.
To make the right decisions, yeah.
That's why it's important we choose the right ones. Yeah.
Because for 4 years you're locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after they're locked in, they can for 4 years think about it. It's like borrowing your cousin or your family member your car, and only after 4 years you can check him on it. You know what I mean?
And trust them in looking after it.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
So we've got to make informed decisions. The other one, like with regard to young people, right? So one of my nieces is learning how to drive. So like they, got to get the hours built up. I think they got to do 120 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so the petrol crisis has even affected that part of it. And that kind of opens up the door to be like, this is why as a young person, you've got to be involved and be educated, be learned with regards to elections, because the people in power could even affect your freedom for getting a driver's license. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Johnny, I know you've been on fire, but I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on that. And that is because the reason young people need to do at least 120 hours is to make sure that they become safer drivers.
No. I think you acknowledge that. I think what he's trying to say is that because she's not driving as much because her parents or even us were like, well, just to be driving
You're
around
thinking twice
is
now.
going to cost money because of the petrol.
Okay.
So the 120 hours is that's
So you
you're
don't
a safer driver.
No, I do agree. I think we've got to add a little bit more
Yeah.
to the 120 hours.
Okay, so you want to increase it?
Yep.
Oh, so no one will vote you in then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I like the 120 hours. I think we're going to add a bit more. But I think because of the petrol crisis, it's minimized opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
That's why as a young person, if you're not involved in government and you got yourself literate in terms of the elections, etc., you may not be a beneficiary of it because suddenly now the government is mishandling everything. You know what I mean? And you've got no say-so and you lose out.
Yeah.
And maybe what we could do in that situation, and I think sometimes, again, back to your point before, being in government is a very challenging job, and sometimes crisis will just drop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you just have to deal with it. You just have to make things work.
Manage
you
it,
have to keep the country running. So, but times like this, especially for that young person, times like this is where we have to talk to our local politicians, our local government. You could be considering things like, could we have vouchers for some young people to make sure,
That's an idea right there.
That's
there
really
you go.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a good
that
one.
could be something to consider as well. And that is make sure, or, either way, government can be creative sometimes. It can just be like, we can allocate these, say, 5 vouchers, which is worth of 5 hours. you know, for a young person that may be disadvantaged.
Yeah, that's
make
true.
sure they can still practice.
Yeah.
Because I remember during COVID, so with COVID, in that season, I think at the latter part, when COVID was coming to an end, because there was that much of a backlog with the testing and all that sort of stuff, they opened up like small offices to kind of facilitate the driving tests and all that sort of stuff. I think we had one down the road from us.
Yeah, there was just
But
one
like
down the road.
it just sprang up for about like 2 months or whatever, kind of to like relieve the stress and the pressure over like the bigger ones, and then it became easy.
Yeah.
Before we go to the next point, I think our first episode we spoke about the qualifications for guys that were doing like local elections, and I think it was more liberal or like more free with in that particular space. You didn't have to be like qualified per se, but you obviously have to be literate. You know, like the basics, 1 + 1 is 2, and that sort of stuff. But now, so at the federal government level, I'm guessing you've got to be qualified. And what is that qualification? What does that look like?